Focusing on yourself sounded kind of selfish to me when I first heard about it. Focusing on myself. Wait a minute. I'm not supposed to be focusing on myself. I should be focusing on all of the people around me. I hear sometimes parents say, you know, I'd love to train, but I have to do this and I have to do that for my children. I have to make sure that I put my children first. And I admire parents that kind of come from that core. It's something that that I recognize as being very selfless. But I want to give you another way of thinking about that, and that is this. I think over the years of watching parents within our school that set a good example by keeping themselves physically strong, I think they actually end up becoming better parents for their children. The person that says, you know what, I'm taking care of myself physically because I want to be the best mom or dad I can be for my children, I think create a level of inspiration and example that supersedes not doing that stuff and just saying, I put my children first. Actions are caught before they're taught. I think when we focus on ourself first, we have more of ourself to be able to share with all of the people around us. The name of our school is Personal Best, and it's not just a cute name. And I think more and more the name Personal Best becomes important, because as I think about it, think about society, and I think we live in a society that is opposite of personal best. It's kind of competitive best. It's how is it that I do compared to you? How is it that I do compared to my neighbor? And those things I find when we do comparison to other people, I find that they are more disempowering than they are empowering. Well, let me give you an example. Let's imagine I'm comparing myself to a classmate, and I'm doing it in my mind from the standpoint of inspiration. But let's imagine that this person just has, you know, that much more God-given ability than I possibly have. I'm getting better, but because this person is outperforming me, instead of appreciating the gains that I'm making, I actually feel discouraged because I'm not able to keep up with this person. I find if we keep a focus on ourselves, and the measure of our success is how we do compared to how we did yesterday, or last week, or last month, I think that's a better level of sustained motivation than focusing on the people around us. Like honestly, who cares how you do compared to anybody else? As long as you're making those incremental gains yourself, eventually you're going to be able to manifest whatever it is that you want. But if we take our focus and we give that power to somebody else, something that we don't have control over, then it's kind of a 50-50 shot whether it works for us or not. I know the only thing that I can control really is myself. To a degree, I can control my day and I can control the habits that I have. So that's where I want to keep my mind purely focused. So when we talk about focusing on ourself, it's not being selfish. It's saying, instead of talking about those things in our life that we really don't have control over and giving our power and attention away, let's start with ourselves first. Let's make ourselves strong. Let's work on improving ourselves. Let's work on positively influencing the things in our life that we have control over. And let's not distract ourselves by giving our attention away to something that, doesn't have merit. Think about that. Are you being selfish enough with yourself to put yourself first? If you ride on an airplane, who do you put the seatbelt on first? You put it on yourself first before even you help your child. It's kind of like that. It's getting into the habit of making sure that you build yourself up. And if something about that just feels wrong, just come from the perspective of, I'm doing this so I can be a better person for the people around me. And maybe that's that peace that you need to give yourself the permission to feel that. Focus on yourself first, one of the key pillars to being the best you can be.